We've created amazing logos, 2 banners, and now also 3 category photos for this store, the Pet Park on Prestige theme. And now this lesson is all about kind of the final touch points I like to include specifically for Prestige theme. And some of these things I don't do for District, but again, the learnings can translate over to any theme that you decide to use. And something I love to put on Prestige theme, because we're giving this kind of higher end, upper scale type of feel, is a about us or kind of a story section, right? There's a very cool way that Prestige theme is able to incorporate that. And it's going to be this element called image with text block, right? So you can imagine our story is going to go in that little box right over there about what the Pet Park is, right? What it's supposed to accomplish. And that's something that can get people excited. And it's going to be on a gorgeous, gorgeous high definition kind of background banner. It's going to take up a decent amount of real estate on the home page, right? So I'm going to go ahead and just add this element in. And we're going to just craft a little story for the section over here. And keep in mind that I'm just going to freestyle this one. And it's up to you, right? The same principles of copywriting that I've taught so far in this course applies to this one as well. You want to make sure that your story is engaging. It's really going to hit home with what you believe your target audience is going to be. And it might take a few iterations once you find out who really is buying from your store for you to craft the perfect message, right? So I'm just going to call this the Pet Park mission. And essentially what this is like the mission statement of our business, right? So as I am working on this little thing, I just want to call out some things, which is that you can get kind of exaggerated in this section, but you don't want to say anything that is blatantly false, right? So don't say like, hey, we are worth $1 billion and we're like a new startup that's super, super successful, when that's not true, right? That is technically illegal, right? And you can get in trouble with that, okay? But what you can do is kind of exaggerate things so that people don't understand that you're a dropshipping business. But as long as everything is within the realm of truth, it's completely okay. So far I've said that out of our love for animals, we created the Pet Park to provide other animal lovers and pet owners with special items that can be used to improve the lives of their furry friends, right? So it's kind of characterizing us as, hey, we love animals too. We started this business in order to improve the lives of pets. And we're going to do something similar in the footer, right? So this footer has that area, and this is a very prestige theme kind of aspect, is it has that little area for the story again, right? So I'm going to go ahead and just copy and paste that story. And now I'm going to talk about something that can bring you a lot of success, but you have to kind of tread lightly, right? Meaning before you do this, you have to actually commit to doing this, or else it's serious, serious crime, which is that you can kind of commit to donating a portion of your sales or your proceeds to a particular charity, right? So in this case, I can say at the Pet Park, you can be sure that we only provide the best of products, for our pets, all right? And what I'm also going to say is that we are actually donating a portion of our sales to any organization out there, right? Obviously, I have to have a specific charity in mind, and you got to include this in the terms of service, that we're actually be donating a portion of all proceeds to support biodiversity and also endangered species, right? So as long as I am actually sending in donations every single month and it can be verified, this is a claim that you can make, and you don't have to be super specific about what a portion is, right? As long as you are donating something significant comparatively to your sales. So I've gone ahead and put this about section in the footer, and it's looking absolutely great. So what I'm going to do is find an image now to serve as the background. I really like this picture of a dog because he's also on the right hand side, so I don't have to do much editing, because again, that my story or our story box is like right smack dab in the middle, okay? And all the pictures were kind of very similar, and I just want to minimize the amount of time I had to spend. So now what we're going to do is open up this image in Photoshop, right? And what we're going to do is set this canvas size to something a little bit different than the banners. The best canvas size to use for this is 1500 by 800 pixels, as you can see right there. And we're just going to create it right over here. And that's just straight up taken from Prestige theme. And my computer spazzed out a little bit, but we are perfectly okay. Hope I didn't give you any seizures back there. And what we're going to do is drag this image onto this canvas and then adjust it accordingly so it can fit in the right way. And again, the whole time I'm doing this, I'm imagining where that our story box is going to be. So it's always good to kind of have that visual center in your mind so you know exactly what you're doing. And I'm going to add a little effect, right? I'm going to go into filter and then noise and add a little noise. And what noise does is essentially gives this picture kind of a vintage feel, right? Because it's our story, it's something that happened in the past. I want to invoke that nostalgia in the psychology of the visitor. So see how this picture kind of looks a little bit older. I'm taking the next level, right? I'm going to add in some hue and saturation adjustments. And there you go. We're just going to change the saturation to make it a little bit less saturated. And this is looking so vintage, right? It's looking like an image I took of my own dog. That's something the visitor does not know, is that I actually don't have any pets. But that is not the story of the pet park. So we're going to plug this thing in and see how it's going to look on with this story section. And there it is. I think it looks pretty gnarly so far. And now what I want to do is just adjust this banner and see how as I scroll, it kind of follows along, right? This is such a cool feature that Prestige Theme does, and that is why it looks so engaging and high end. As you're scrolling down, literally the banner is adjusting, so it looks like you're uncovering the dog, and this is actually called the parallax effect. So that's something you've learned today outside of how to make this engaging website, and this is an example of how Prestige kind of shows off this feature in their theme kind of sales page. And what we want to do is add in a button link because we want this banner to be clickable, right? And especially it's something that's so maybe essential to the customer experience, which is learning our mission. I'm going to go ahead and make this button label learn more, okay? And obviously, I've gone ahead and also created a separate page that kind of explains the mission and further, and you can kind of grasp how you can make a very engaging mission or about us page, right? Just find those stock images, make something that's believable and also isn't outright lying, and then use that vintage effect, and it really just pulls at the heartstring. Now we just have to make sure that this thing is linked to the right collection. I'm going to go ahead and plug this image in again so you can see this cool feature, and let's move on to the rest of the design process for Prestige Theme. Starting out by making sure the featured collection is showing a collection. I already did a lesson in this course on how you can make your featured collection look absolutely amazing. So this one is going to be a little bit messy. I didn't go in there and actually make sure the products are on uniform backgrounds or clean them or anything like that. And I'm just going to make this featured collection the best sellers collection, right? And I've already gone ahead and made a homepage one. Again, it's a rough one. I'm not following my own principles here, but you can imagine that this would look a lot cleaner if things were more uniform and all on white backgrounds or all on lifestyles. I like to make it so 4 products are showing at one point, and I've gone ahead and fixed my typo, but that's what 3 looks like. I like 4, right? I want to give as much breadth as possible in each row. And now that this feature collection is showing, I think it looks pretty dandy, and you can see this site really coming to life. And all we have to do now is move on to the featured product. This is another cool feature of Prestige Theme is they have kind of that featured product and that, heat button that can be very, very effective. And we already are kind of pushing a product, right? It's this pet fountain on the banner. So why do I make that featured product this pet fountain as well? And notice that I didn't change anything about the product description or the product title. This is the default one from AliExpress. So don't use this as an example. But what we can do is make the selector type a drop down, right? Which I just did, and this makes the variants just look so much cleaner, right? And it's just very, very crisp. I love this aspect of Prestige Theme, and all we have to do is actually just change the messaging and the description, which I already taught you how to do in a lesson on how you make very engaging product descriptions, right, with the circle of value. So make sure you go read that lesson. And this one is strictly for design. So this is awesome. They can buy the product right now on the homepage. They can also go into the product page level and see more details. I think the site looks absolutely gorgeous. And one more thing I'm going to do now is just kind of put the announcement bar up there. And this is something that's called the promotional bar in District Theme. It's the same concept. And what we can do is just play around with the colors, the messaging. Usually what works here is if you put some sort of sale announcement, some sort of sense of urgency, right? Like this thing is only going on for 24 hours. Some sort of discount code can work as well. Or you can announce that you do free international shipping, right? 24/7 customer support, hassle-free returns, free exchanges, whatever, right? It's basically a promotional promotional bar that is going to be everywhere on every single page, no matter what the customer goes to. And it's especially prominent when you're on a mobile view, right? So whatever message you think customers should see everywhere on your website, make sure that's what you put on the announcement bar or the promotional bar. And you can make it homepage only if you want, and we can just play around with the backgrounds, right? We could try this red out, and then make the text white or something. We can make this green, and this is just about iterating after iterating until we find something that looks nice. So I've gone ahead and kind of done both, right? I'm advertising a sale and also advertising a particular coupon code. That's way too light. And let's make sure it's something we actually can read easily. All right, well, I actually like this color a decent amount, so I think that's something that we can settle in with. There you go. So the darker green is even better. And we can also make this a link, right? So if they click on this, they can go to a particular part of the website. I'm just going to leave it as a promotional bar, but this is the site that we've made together. So let's save our progress, and is looking great, right? Let's see how it looks expanded. It's looking awesome. I think it really looks high end, looks professional, much better than most dropshipping sites out there for sure. We just have to add in the essential pages that I cover elsewhere in this course, and you're ready to rumble with your first store made from Prestige Theme.